Okay, so what are we going to do today? Well, today is July 10th. July 10th is National Pina Colada Day.
Pina Colada.
So we're going to make a pina colada. We're going to switch it up just a little bit. And then as long as we are making pina coladas, which are not true tiki drinks, we'll talk a little bit about what the difference is between a tiki drink and a beach or a boat drink. And we will do some variations of the pina colada that are more classically aligned with a tiki drink. We will do the Lady of Spain, which dates back to 1960, and the Painkiller, which is a 1980s version of the. It's not a version of the pina colada, but it's kind of a more tiki-esque. Basically, they're adding citrus into these things to help them be more balanced. Because your tiki drink, your beach or your boat drink, the pina colada, is kind of a fruity, sweet mess. They're tasty, but but there you go. Usually we do a toast, right?
We have a key.
We have a Keith. Yay, we have a
We
Keith.
have a Camilla from Molly.
From Molly. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Because we're doing boat drinks, so she's got to be on Molly, right? That
And
works.
we're doing Elizabeth. And we've got Elizabeth.
Yay, Elizabeth, who we saw
pull your
yesterday.
hair off your mic.
Pull my hair off my mic. That's easier said than done because it's going to fall back across the mic. Here, let me see.
And we have Greg Terry.
Yay!
So how are the new mics? Can you hear us both?
Right, because we've got new mics. We've got like wired Bluetoothy mics, and so I have no idea how well they're going. So hopefully that's cool. What should we do for toasting rum? Because I didn't drag out any toasting rum, hun. You want to just go with something boring and ordinary like the Appleton?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got here? We have the Appleton Signature. So this is Appleton's main line. I mean, this is their. I don't want to say this is their low end, but this is not Appleton's premium. Part of Appleton premium line. So, but this is a solid little Jamaican rum. This is a nice. I tend to think of it as an introductory Jamaican rum because it's not really heavy on the hogo funkiness that you would normally get with Jamaican rums, but it's a solid enough little rum. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So here we are. Appleton Estate Signature, their new bottling. So the bottles on the Appletons have changed a couple of times, and we sometimes, if we know the bottling is going to change, we'll keep a bottle around so that we have the new bottle.
You want to be here on dashboard. There you go.
Yeah, but then I can see me, and then I end up looking at me.
Oh, okay. There's
Sounds
that.
so purty, I'm not great. Anyway, so here
I have a mic too.
she does. Yep, she does have a mic. And I have a mic, and we're going to drink to new audio systems?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? And getting people back together. We had a game day yesterday, so we had a bunch of people over and pawed through some books and pawed through some new games and played some new games and some old games and had all sorts of breaking the seal and other very strange
Telestrations
It was a
games,
telestrations
yeah.
game that got a little weird.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
because telestration games do get a little weird. But we're like,
There's a reason Appleton's a backbone.
yes,
Because
yeah.
it's a good, solid, awesome backbone.
There's a hint of that funkiness
There's
there.
a hint of funk.
Right.
I
So
mean,
it's not gonna turn-
it's
It's not going to turn anybody off.
no.
There's a little.
It's sort of like
There's
if
definitely
I were
more burn to
relating
this
it
than-
to my Scotch collection and your Jamaican collection. This is much more like the Bowmore,
Okay.
which is a much more approachable Isle of Scotch.
Sure.
Versus Ardbeg or Lafroig or
Yeah, God forbid the Lafroig.
any of
The
those.
Lafroig.
So, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, good old Scottish brogue, right? That's has more in common with the guttural Middle Eastern languages. Yeah. Anyway, so what are we going to do with the pina colada? Okay, well, first of all, to the question of what is a pina colada recipe. Proportions are weird on this one. So essentially a pina colada is 3 ingredients: pineapple juice, rum, and coconut cream. That's it.
Okay,
But the
so-
proportions are weird, right?
We are getting scruffling of sounds on the mic.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume
That's my hair.
That's
Probably.
your shirt for your hair.
Let's see if this is better. Is that better? Are we not getting scruffling sounds? We'll see.
See what they say.
Okay. Well, we will try, and hopefully that will work. So anyway, pineapple, coconut cream, rum. That's it. Generally, the rum is supposed to be a Puerto Rican rum of some sort. And you see references to white rum or gold rum, but that's not really helpful, as we all know about rums. There's also the proportions. So if you were to, say, rip the label off a can of cream of coconut from Coco Lopez, which is the cream of coconut that tiki files use, it would say you were supposed to combine 4 ounces of Coco Lopez, 4 ounces of pineapple juice, and 3 ounces of rum with 2 cups of ice. Okay, you could do that. So that's a lot. That serves definitely 2 people. That's only an ounce and a half of rum each. So I mean, this is going to be an easy sipping recipe. But if you go to the IBA website, the International Bartenders Association, they consider this one of their classic cocktails, and they do have a standardized recipe for this. Now, their standardized recipe is, of course, in European measures, because, oh, what is that like? Oh, never mind. Okay, I know what that is now. Because, of course, the International Bartenders Association uses the metric system, because they're not silly Americans, or, well, they're not entirely silly Americans. The IBA measures are essentially 5 centiliters of pineapple, 3 centiliters of coconut cream, and 5 centiliters of white rum. Now, this is where I have a bone to pick with the IBA of like, what the heck do you mean by white rum? But in any case, you can just ignore the centiliters, because I know you're Americans and you're like afraid of the metric system, and all you have to do is remember the ratio, which is 5:3:5. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that ratio, cut everything in half. And so we're going to go 2.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1.5 ounces of coconut cream, and 2.5 ounces of some rum. And I'm going to use a Puerto Rican rum, sort of.
Aside from Daytona.
Hey, Jeff. Hope you're enjoying Daytona. You're at Dice Tower, right? Is that right? I think so.
Yeah. Amanda says, Pina Colada, noun, a thing which the desire to drink serves as a criteria you put in a newspaper ad when you want to cheat on your partner.
So this is the Escape song that Amanda is referencing. Yep.
And Amanda says the mic is better. The sound.
Moving it here is better. Okay. All right. It must have been my hair. All right, because my hair was scribbly or whatever. Yep. Okay, so this is going to be mixed with crushed ice, and it is going to be blended until smooth. Now, you could use your ordinary home blender for this, or you can use a spindle blender, whichever one you want. My home blender is actually in the back room. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my spindle blender, and I'm going to do that for all of these drinks, which means I just need my blender tins and not any of the mixing tins. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to take one of these, and we are going to take some Coco Lopez. And I know you're saying, no, that's not Coco Lopez, that's Coco Real. No, it is Coco Lopez in a Coco Real container. I ran out of the Coco Real, and I just opened up one of my cans of Coco Lopez and put it in here because the squeeze bottle is just an easier thing to use. So we need 1.5 ounces of coconut cream. So we are going to do that. And we're just going to go. This is the sticky ingredient, so it goes in first. All right, so there's 3/4. And there's 3/4. How about if I take off my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing up close? Otherwise I have to do this, and I look very arrogant, and it's very disconcerting to me, and I don't want to do that. Okay, next up, pineapple juice. 2.5 ounces of pineapple juice. So we're going to pour the ½ ounce. That's a little over, but my sweetheart will love that. And there's 2. So, okay, 2½ ounces of pineapple juice. We're using a combination of Dole and Goya rather than truly fresh pineapple juice. Then we need 2½ ounces of white rum, according to the International Bartenders Association. And I could reach over and grab the Bacardi Superior, but in the back room there happened to be some Bacardi Superior, Bacardi Gold actually, that I took macerated peaches and put them in it and let them soak. So it was originally sort of a clear rum or gold rum. It's mostly a clear rum, but it just had peaches macerating in it for a while, and then I strained that out. But I've had this for a while, and I'd like to get rid of this, actually. So what we're going to do is add a little peach flavor to our pina colada by using a peach rum. And so we're going to go 2½ ounces of peach rum, sticking to the 5-3-5 proportions. Okay, there we go. That goes here. We need ice. I've gone through the tubble. I got to the tubble. I'm crushing a whole bunch of ice today, so we can smooth this out. Do that. That goes in there. Come back. And we're just going to stick this under the blender, and I have no idea how the mic is going to react to the blender, so hopefully it's okay. So you may have noticed that when doing something like this, we're not doing a flash blend, right? We actually are trying to blend this to the point where it gets pretty smooth and creamy. And there is a musical group by the name of Gaelic Storm, and they do a song called Pina Colada in a Pint Glass, which is one of our favorite songs by them, and we love Gaelic Storm, so shout out to Gaelic Storm. So as long as we're going to do that, we're going to put this Pina Colada in a pint glass. We're just going to do right like that. There we go. One Pina Colada in a pint glass. Ta-da. And we need straw for this, so we're going to reach over and we're going to use a big old straw from Surfside Sips. We're going to stick that in there. All right. Normally you would garnish this with some hunks of pineapple. We do not have the hunks of pineapple to do that. We have a cat. We have Miss Dorley sitting here, who is adorable. Yes.
Adorable.
Adorable. I
don't know if my mic is paired.
I don't know. No clue. Not sure if people can hear you or not. Okay, let's see what else we want here.
Can you hear me on my own? I don't know if I'm paired.
Well, you are paired, but whether your mic is or not is a different story.
Oh, it would help if I turned it on.
Oh, well, turning on the mic is generally a thing that's necessary. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, my mic probably works better if I turn it on.
So normally, like I said, there would be pineapple here, but there isn't. There's usually a big old maraschino cherry, but we're not doing that, so we're going to put that there. So, and there's cat tail under my foot. Ow.
No, it was my foot.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt like a cat tail because it like slipped out pretty quickly. Yeah. There was something else I was going to put on this, and I don't remember. No. I need umbrella. Umbrella. Where are my umbrellas? Oh no, where are my umbrellas? I've got like a ton of drink umbrellas lying around.
They're in here.
Oh, there they are. Yep. This one right here. Nope. Got to use this one.
Okay.
Because according to the lyrics of the song, she wants a drink with a pink umbrella on top. And so we are going to give her... Yeah, the wife actually used lyrics from the song in our...
No, I use lyrics from Slim Jim.
Oh, it's from Slim Jim. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep. And there we go. So there is a pina colada in a pint glass with a pink umbrella on top.
You know you're not seeing this again, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So,
I have a pina colada in a pint glass.
you do. So what's the deal with the pina colada? You occasionally see the pina colada on tiki menus. You will almost always see the pina colada on any sort of beach restaurant menu, or if you're cruising, pretty much guaranteed the pina colada will be on the menu. Any place that serves sort of summery fruit drinks or calls themselves tiki will often have, like I don't know, they don't have to call themselves tiki, but like Red Lobster or something will almost always have like some variation of a pina colada on their menu. But it's not considered a true tiki drink. So, a couple of reasons. One, to the purists out there, it's not a true tiki drink if it wasn't created during the highlights of the tiki period, and this entails having particular bartenders that are contributing to this and having the mystique of the mystery of the recipes and blending of different types of rums and that sort of thing. None of that is actually truly necessary for it to be considered a tiki drink. But one of the hallmarks of tiki is that the drinks are actually more than just rum and fruit juice, that they're actually balanced. So when you think of the tiki punch recipe, 1 sour, 2 sweet, 3 strong, 4 weak, they're telling you that they're trying to balance the sour and the sweet ingredients to get something that's just a nice flavor profile for you. That's a true cocktail. Star's now going to play Pina Colada in a pint glass for us. Where the Pina Colada fails in this regard is that the Pina Colada is a sweet cocktail. Pineapple juice is sweet, it is not sour. The coconut cream is sweet, it is not sour. And the rum is usually a pretty unremarkable rum in here. They want you to be able to drink lots of these things, and it tastes like pineapple and coconut. And that's it. In this case, we've got just a little bit more going on because we did, in fact, use the peach rum. But other than that, I don't even think the peach rum really comes through in that. Sorry, listening to the music. It is one of our favorite songs. Absolutely tons of fun. So that's the Pina Colada. Okay, so that's one version of the Pina Colada. We mentioned the Pina Colada version on the back of the Coco Lopez label. There is also a Puerto Rican version of the Pina Colada, and I'm not going to do that one for you this evening. Not because I can't, but because there's an ingredient that if I were to do this, I would have had to remember that it was part of the recipe and set it up last night. Because the Puerto Rican recipe uses pineapple juice, cream of coconut, heavy cream, and some form of Puerto Rican rum. No ice. The trick here is that they freeze their pineapple juice. I totally didn't do that, so I actually can't do the Puerto Rican version of the Pina Colada for you. But what we just did as a Pina Colada is a pretty standard, it's the IBA standard Pina Colada. You're going to get some variation of that pretty much no matter where you go and you order a Pina Colada. Now you can do this, you can zhuzh this up in any different kinds of ways. I've seen guava Pina Coladas, I've seen raspberry Pina Coladas, that sort of thing. Like a swirl of the raspberry syrup that we used last week on the inside of the glass and then pour the Pina Colada in. You can do something along those lines, right? Okay. This is not a small drink. We just did one that's got 2.5 ounces of rum in it, and it goes down smooth. So these are dangerous, which is another hallmark of beach and tropical drinks is wow, this doesn't taste like I'm drinking alcohol, and so I'm going to order 3 more of these until I'm feeling it. And then they hit you, right? So doing a little bit of research here, and I was like, all right, so I can't do the Puerto Rican version, but is there something else that I can do that takes this into more of an actual tiki direction, that would be considered more of a classic tiki drink, that's got elements of the balance to it, that's got some tartness and sour and some acid in it to balance out some of that sweetness. So you do a quick check on things like, well, what drinks happen to have pineapple juice and coconut cream in them? Because pineapple juice, coconut cream, rum, there's a pina colada. What can you do based on top of that? And I ran across a drink called the Lady of Singapore, which I believe is a Kontiki drink from Oregon's Kontiki restaurant from the 1960s. Okay, so now we're firmly in the age category for tiki drinks. And what we've got chess playing now. That's kind of interesting. Anyway,
I'm changing it back.
so squirrel. Yeah, I'm totally distracted. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, so we're building off of this base of rum, coconut cream, and pineapple juice. But we're in the 1960s, and this is coming out of a classic tiki restaurant. The Kontiki is known for some of our better tiki cocktails. There's lime juice in this cocktail. Huh, lime juice. So let's see what we can do here. Once again, this is going to be a blended drink. The Lady of Singapore. So we got a half ounce of the coconut cream. So already we're backing way off on the coconut cream. Instead of an ounce and a half, we only have a half ounce. All right, there's your half ounce. But why did I mention the Puerto Rican version if I wasn't going to do it? Because the Lady of Singapore actually uses half and half. Now, we're going to cheat a little bit, because what I have is heavy whipping cream and I didn't feel like mixing it with milk. So we're just going to make a real thick version of this by going a half ounce of whipping cream right there. Sure, that's not going to hurt us. How's your cholesterol? Then we need an ounce of pineapple juice. Got that right here.
We have a Cheryl.
Cheryl! Shout out! I have no idea how many people are online. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep doing this, because I like doing this for you guys. Alright, so there's an ounce of pineapple juice. Done. Then we have lime juice. Lime juice. 1/2 ounce lime juice. And I know what you're thinking. I'm having the same reaction. Why isn't this gonna curdle? I don't know. We're gonna go with a Puerto Rican rum here. We're gonna go 1.5 ounces of a gold Puerto Rican rum. This is Scryer. Scryer is only available on Puerto Rico and was brought back to us by a good friend of ours, who is the only one besides Star and I that has made every one of our anniversary parties. Thank you, Gwen, my rum mule. So there's 1.5 ounces of a gold Puerto Rican rum. Like, okay, this is looking remarkably like a pina colada, Pooch, with just some lime juice into it, which might cause it to curdle. Okay, that would be bad. But there's another ingredient added here, which I find strange, but it's grenadine. They're adding a teaspoon of grenadine to this. Oh, okay. So let's add a teaspoon of grenadine. And this is the home grenadine. So this is essentially a pomegranate syrup. This is also not going to be the color you would expect from a pina colada. 4 ounces crushed ice. Which is basically a scoop and a half, or not a scoop and a half to 3/4 of a scoop. And then we're going to hook this up and we're going to blend. And there we go. All right. You know, I'm surprised. My grenadine is so dark, I assumed that it would have much more of an effect on the color on this, but it doesn't appear to. It's kind of weird. All right, so here we go. This is the Lady of Singapore. How's that pina colada over there, hon?
That's yummy.
Excellent. So there we go. This is the Lady of Singapore. I'm going to add a little more crushed ice to this now. I did not see anything in the way of a canonical garnish for this, but I'm sure you could play around with it, do all sorts of pretty things that you wanted to. You could take and just add some bitters to the top of this, which I think might be really nice. I've got some tiki bitters here from El Guapo Bitters. We're going to use the Polynesian Kiss, and I'm just going to drip some of that on top. Add a little color to the top of that. And there we go. So now we have a little more balance to the cocktail because we've got some tartness from the pomegranate and a little sour from the lime juice. That should complement the pineapple juice really pretty well. Let's go with another Surfside Sip straw. Stick that right in there. And one Lady of Singapore from the 1960s Quarantiki. Oh man. I would order that in a heartbeat. That is tasty. That is quite tasty. I think maybe a little mint sitting on top of that might not be bad either. Just reach over here, smack some mint up, stick that in there, just like that. Now we try this again with the mint, see if the smell throws it off. There's just a teaspoon of the pomegranate syrup in there, i.e. the grenadine, and that's really nice. See the tartness to balance that out, right?
Yeah.
I could drink many more of these than I could drink pina coladas.
I can see that.
The pina colada just, after a while, just becomes too cloyingly sweet to me. And
I still want to start with the traditional pina colada, though.
Okay. Well, there you go. You did. Yes.
Yeah? I'm going to let you have some of that.
Oh, excellent. Yay. So we are Lovecraft cocktails. And so we do occasionally do something other than just pure tiki stuff. We do have Lovecraftian references that we like to make here. And sometimes the decor turns out a little more Lovecraftian than last time you saw it. And I should point out that what I am wearing here is actually a new Lovecraftian shirt. This is a Tiki Lovecraft shirt. It's got tiki-fied Lovecraftian Cthulhu with palm fronds and the like. And here's the back of it. Right, so there you go. You like? And then hanging up from the same company is a... they call it a rug or a throw rug. It's really much more of kind of a bath mat material, but I just thought that was kind of cool. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. It's not going to hang up there, but I wanted to have some way of showing it to you. So, you know, classic Cthulhu statue, right? And weird words around the sides, and yeah, it's just cool. It also fits on top of our play table really nicely for gaming, so that's kind of cool and awesome. Okay, so once again, sort of big differences in the tiki versus beach drinks. So the beach drink or the boat drinks really are very much catering to that palate that likes their drinks sweet, that are drinking because they want the effect of the alcohol, but they don't really want to taste the alcohol. For tiki drinks, it's really important that you bring out the flavors of the alcohol, and the alcohol itself is present as a flavor in the cocktail, and that those flavors are well balanced. And you can just layer sweetness and layer sweetness and layer sweetness on top of rum, and you will obliterate it to where all you taste is sweetness. I'm not saying that that's the case with the pina colada. You can taste some of the rum, but it's very much designed to tamper the taste of the rum. There's There's a reason why you have the tiki, which is a variation which is made with vodka. But if you want a true tiki drink, true tiki, that is a variation on the Pina Colada, there is a classic. And Pussers has trademarked it so that you can only do a true one if you're using Pussers rum. Yeah, forget that, buddies. We're going to use whatever we want to make this cocktail. The Painkiller. The Painkiller is a stock tiki cocktail. It swaps out a couple of the ingredients of the Pina Colada, adds a couple of things. I actually think the Lady of Singapore is probably a more true tiki cocktail than even the Painkiller, because it's just that component of the lime juice and balancing that out and adding just that touch of the grenadine to this thing as that balancing agent. All those are just real hallmarks of tiki, as opposed to here's some juice, here's some coconut, and here's some rum, here's some more rum, here's enough rum to where I know you'll come back and order another one, kind of thing. But the Painkiller, what is the Painkiller? So the Painkiller has pineapple, it has coconut cream, and it has rum in it, but it calls for a specific kind of rum, and then it adds a citrus component. But if you just added lime juice to that, you'd be a little off balance, because that lime juice is so tart. And so instead of adding either lime or lemon juice, what the Painkiller does is it gets a little bit of citrus by adding orange juice to it. So the Painkiller is pineapple juice, orange juice, cream of coconut, and rum, and it specifies the rum should be either a Navy style or a blend of rums together in a Navy style, or a Demerara rum. So you could use like an El Dorado, or you could use a Pussers rum. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to switch this up a little bit. You can also use like a lightly funky Jamaican. And what we're going to do is we are going to take, we're going to take basic Pussers rum. We're going to add a little hint of a light Jamaican rum to it and use that as our base for the Painkiller. The other thing the Painkiller does, and please don't let me forget this, is a garnish of grated nutmeg. I'm always forgetting the grated nutmeg, and it really makes the cocktail. So we're going to give this a shot. Once again, blended drink. So we got our blender tin here. 4 ounces of pineapple juice. Oh my goodness, a lot of pineapple juice. I got to tell you that my wife really loves pineapple juice, and she loves coconut cream. So, I mean, this is like an episode made for her. It could only be better if we threw in a Trade Winds cocktail as well.
Yeah. Just got to play Study in Emeralds at Dice Tower.
I study in Emerald, yeah. Trade Winds, coconut cream, lemon juice, apricot liqueur, a couple of different kinds of rum, ice, and I can't tell what that is on my goslet. I have no idea. No clue what that is. Something else. Oh, it probably is the grated, the grated nutmeg. All right. What am I doing? Pineapple orange juice. Right. 1 ounce orange juice. Well, hello, Dorley. Are you joining me? It's like, Dad, you got stuff all over my cat bed over here. Yeah, okay. 1 ounce orange juice. Fresh squeezed, of course. 1 ounce coconut cream. Oops, should have put the coconut cream in first in order to clear it out of my jigger. Always a good idea to shake your coconut cream. It does have a tendency to separate. There's 1 ounce coconut cream. And then 2.5 ounces of Navy rum, or Navy rum with some light Jamaican in it, or something along those lines. Okay, so we're going to use Pussers Navy rum, so we can actually call this a true Painkiller. Yes, they did. They, in fact, trademarked the name so that you can only make a... If you put this on a menu in a commercial establishment, you literally have to make it with Pussers rum. Or call it something slightly different than a Painkiller. There's 2 ounces. The rest of that's going in the infinity bottle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a ½ ounce of the Plantation Jamaica Jamaican rum. I really like the combination of Demerara, and Jamaican rums together. So that's what we're doing. One of my favorite combinations is actually the El Dorado 8-year and the Plantation Jamaica. It works really, really well. But I also want to get rid of that that bottle of Pussers. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I've got another bottle of Pussers lying around. And if not, I have a 15-year Pussers that I can use in a pinch, right? Okay, so there we go. We're going to add some ice to this, and then we are going to blend this up. And for all of these, if you wanted a more creamy version of this cocktail, you could easily use your normal home blender and just stick it in there until the ice is basically beat all to heck and it becomes just this creamy, frothy thing. I prefer it to be a little lighter than that, all of these drinks, and so I'm using the spindle blender, and I don't want to have to run back and forth into the kitchen blender in the back. All right, so we're gonna do this. This is a pretty big drink here. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 ounces. That's a plus ice. So if there's 4 to 6 ounces of ice in there, yeah, you're talking a big drink at this point. So here we go, Painkiller. We're going to take that. We're going to put this in one of these gobblety drinks. Mix that up a little bit. Why is this frothy? It is frothy because of the pineapple juice. Pineapple juice under agitation gets you froth. And sometimes if you're good and you got enough froth and it's stable enough, you can do what I'm doing here. And look at that, we've got froth coming up over the edge of the glass. Yeah, yeah, baby. All right, hold on a second. Lady of Singapore is calling my name. Look, you have to stop calling me while my wife is here. Yeah, come on, I know, but yeah, really, come on.
She'll come and take you away.
She will. She will come and take you away. Because she thinks you're pretty hot too. All right, so here, I'm not forgetting, look at this. Woohoo, nutmeg. Nutmeg over the top. Oh, love me some nutmeg. There we go. I feel much happier that I remembered the nutmeg this time. Stick straw in this thing, we'll call it done. Here we're going to use a Cthulhu straw. So this is straw Thulu. It's got the little tentacly bits on it. You can tell. That's going to go right in the center here like that. Hey, the straw's even standing up. How's that for cool? All right, there we go. Here is a classic Painkiller where I've subbed out just a little bit of the Pusser's Navy rum for some Jamaican rum because I like it that way. Oh, so good. So good. I have to admit, to my liking, I want just a hint more tartness to that. I would rather add just a hint of lime to this, and I think I would be quite happy. But the orange comes through as a supporting player here, and so that pineapple, orange, and then the coconut all work really, really well together as a nice breakfast drink.
Breakfast drink?
Yes, absolutely, yes. What? You've been on cruises. This is a perfect breakfast drink on a cruise,
Good
right?
point, good point.
It's not like you're going anywhere, right? So look at this, look. See, it's foaming, it's sticking up over. Isn't that awesome? Oh, the Cthulhu straw is sticking out of there. Yep. We did a good thing. Ah. Yeah, right? See, there you go.
Okay, you can have your lady for Singapore. I'm taking the plane.
I'm gonna have some of that. I'm gonna. So there we go. So, yeah, are you going to go back to the Lady of Singapore?
That is good.
Yeah. So there you go. So now I will freely admit the Lady of Singapore is not something that is a particularly common drink. If you walk into a beach bar and you say, "I'll take a Lady of Singapore," they'll go, "What?" If you order a Painkiller, chances are pretty good that they can whip something up that looks like a Painkiller. They'll add some orange juice to their basic Pina Colada mix and be done with it. There is a drink, I believe it's called something like the Staten Island Ferry, that is the thing that bars do when they don't have access to things like, oh, I don't know, coconut cream, and they sub in for part of the rum a coconut rum like Malibu or Blue Parrot or something along those lines. If you see your bartender reaching for one of those kinds of rums in order to make a pina colada or a painkiller, you might consider maybe, I don't know, some other cocktail. Just saying. But there you go. So today is National Pina Colada Day, so I thought it would be appropriate to actually make a pina colada, tell you about some variations of the pina colada, and then take us into the tiki realm and leave the pina colada, the escaping pina colada beachy drink behind, and investigate sort of the tiki versions of the pina colada. And really, I mean, the base components, again, the rum, the coconut cream, and the pineapple are all here. But for the tiki style drinks, they're attempting a little more balance by adding some sourness or some acid back in, just to balance that out, and adding rums that have got some flavor and character to them, such that you can really taste the rum as part of the characters that are playing in the cocktail. Whereas, just my personal opinion, most of the time when you get a pina colada, you're getting something like a Bacardi Silver, or God forbid, something worse than that, Aristocrat or some lower shelf rum, because they know you can't taste the rum in the cocktail. And so they can go down to their bottom shelf stuff in the bar and give you something that will make you happy, because it's all you're going to taste is pineapple and coconut. But if you want your rum to be a contributing player, you might consider something like the Painkiller instead. Or write down the recipe for the Lady of Singapore and hand it to your bartender next time you go into a beach bar or a tiki bar and go, I'd like one of these, please, and we'll see what you get. Yeah, and I'm going to mix drinks here. I've got some little bit left of the Painkiller, and it's going to go into my Lady of Singapore. Don't judge me too harshly for that. That goes over there. So, Amanda, what do you think of pina coladas? I'm sure you've had a pina colada.
Looking forward to making pinas.
I kind of figured I'd touching on the what's a tiki drink and what's not a tiki drink, and what was going to be dangerous territory here. And I will say this, that if what you're looking for is a hard and fast definition, that you can take any given drink and go, okay, which side of the line does this fall on? I think you're going to be sadly mistaken. Making these kinds of drinks and putting them together for given taste palettes is a bit of an art, and all art is subjective. And so some things will qualify and some things don't. Classic example here is the Jungle Bird. So the Jungle Bird is, the Jungle Bird only dates back to like the 80s or 90s? I think even the 90s. So it's really hard to consider the Jungle Bird sort of classic tiki canon. And it uses an Amaro, which is just, boom, outside the realm of tiki canon. They just didn't have access to that kind of ingredient back then.
Amanda likes pina colada.
So, as a consequence, the Jungle Bird shouldn't be considered a true tiki drink, but it's in every tiki bar everywhere, and it's kind of written in as, this is good, yeah, it's a tiki drink. We'll own that. It also has the distinct honor of being a drink that will show up in non-tiki restaurants, right? So it will, restaurants and bars. So your craft cocktail bars, often you will have some variation of the Jungle Bird show up on their menu at some point. So Well, if there's no questions and no comments,
Elizabeth wants to drink all the drinks.
So Elizabeth wants to drink all the drinks, and I can't say that would be a bad idea. Although, if we do a quick add up, let's see, there's 2.5 ounces and 1.5 ounces, so 3, 4, 5, 6.5 ounces. But, it's not too bad. 6.5 ounces of rum split across 2 people in an hour. It's about right. Yep.
Cheryl agrees. She would also like to drink all the drinks.
Well, there is a way that you can drink all the drinks. You just
Come visit.
come visit, right? Show up.
Greg says, what would be close to a pina colada but would be dairy-free?
Well, pina colada, right? Because a straight up pina colada has pineapple, coconut cream, and rum in it, and there's no dairy in coconut cream. It's actually made by heating and pressing out the juices from the coconut meat. They just call it coconut cream. So there's actually no dairy in a straight up pina colada. If you did a Lady of Singapore, obviously you'd have to eliminate the half and half. If you did a Painkiller, you could. The Painkiller itself is also non-dairy, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. Depending on what it is that is the problem with dairy, lactate makes half and half. So you could potentially do something along those lines if you really wanted a Lady of Singapore. That might be a way of getting around that as well. But yeah, there you go. You don't, aside from the Puerto Rican variation, that again has the heavy cream, rum, pineapple juice that's been frozen, and coconut cream. That one actually, because it does have the full ounce of heavy cream, would be you'd have to go with some other ingredient for that. But again, like a lactate heavy cream would probably work in that case. These drinks are terribly easy to drink and very dangerous. And if it weren't a Sunday night and I didn't have to be at work tomorrow, I'd probably be whipping up a pitcher and we'd be sitting on the back porch and drinking these for another couple of hours.
Yeah.
Because we could. But unfortunately, we've got a few things to do, and I don't want to drag this out any longer just because we haven't made it to the hour mark. So I think what I'll do is, if everyone's willing, we'll call it here and say, go forth and drink some daggone good cocktails or something along those lines. Look, just be safe out there. Have a good week. Be easy and drink in moderation. And just have a good time. Enjoy life. And we'll see you next week here on Lovecraft Cocktails. I have no idea what we're doing next week, but hopefully it'll be fun. Hopefully it will be entertaining. And I'm hoping that you like the new mics, because they seem to be pretty easy on us as long as they don't have my hair dangling in them all over the place.